Thank you once again. Welcome once again to another week of our predictions for the Italian Serie A. I hope you had a wonderful week last week, and so we're going to head straight into it. And this week we're going to start with Sassuolo versus AC Milan. And so my predictions for Sassuolo AC Milan is I'm going to have AC Milan winning this game here. Both teams not to score, and my predicted scoreline for this game is AC Milan to win 2-0. In terms of a double chance, you can say either Sassuolo or AC Milan to win, and both teams not to score. If you want to go on the handicap system, you can go and bet for AC Milan to win by a goal, and that's $2.40, so that's a nice odds. So my predictions again for the Sassuolo versus AC Milan game. I'm expecting AC Milan to win this game here by AC Milan to win, expecting both teams not to score, and I'm expecting AC Milan to win 2-0. That's my predicted scoreline. If you want to do a double chance, you can see AC Milan or Sassuolo to win and both teams not to score. If you don't want to bet the correct score, you can also go and you can see AC Milan to win by a goal. Alright? So those are my predictions for that game, AC Milan versus Sassuolo. Alright, our next game for this upcoming game week in the Italian Serie A is Inter Milan versus Cremonese. And Inter Milan versus Cremonese, Inter Milan being at home. I'm expecting Inter Milan to win here. And I'll say both teams not to score. And in terms of a double chance, you're going to say Inter Milan or Cremonese to win and both teams not to score. In terms of my predicted scoreline here, I'm having Inter Milan to win this game 3-0 or otherwise 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to bet for Inter Milan to win by a goal. Alright, Milan to win by a goal. So my predictions for this game is Inter Milan to win, playing at home. Both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Inter Milan or Cremonese to win, and both teams not to score. Predicted scoreline 3-0 in favor of Inter Milan. And on the handicap system, Inter Milan winning by a goal. You can also bet for Inter Milan to win by 2 goals, and that's $1.37. Alright, our next game is, let's see, Roma versus Monza. Roma versus Monza. Mourinho's team being at home here, I'm expecting them to do well enough again. I expect them to run away from Monza. In terms of both teams to score, I'd say no. And in terms of a double chance, I'm going to say Roma or Monza to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline for this game, I would say Roma to win by 2 goals. Alright, 2 goals, Roma to win. Alright, 2-0 in favor of Roma. In terms of the handicap system, I'd go and bet for Roma to win by a goal. Alright, so my predictions for the Roma versus Monza game, Roma being at home, I'm expecting that both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Roma or Monza to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline for this game is 2-0 in favor of Roma. And you can also go on the handicap system and bet for Roma to win by a goal. Alright, moving right along to our next game, which is Empoli versus Hellas Verona. Empoli being the home team here and Verona being the visiting team. I think this one is we're not going to have a lot of goals, I believe, maybe about 2, and those 2 goals I think they are going to be shared, and so therefore hence the reason why I'm saying this game is going to end in a draw. So Verona and Empoli, I'm expecting this game to end in a draw. It's either a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw. And so in terms of a double chance, I would say Empoli or Verona to win and both teams to score. I'd go with that if one of them should win. But for me, I'm saying it's a 1-1 draw. So my predictions for this game, Empoli versus Verona, I'm expecting a draw. And if you want to do a double chance, you can say Verona or Empoli to win and both teams to score. And my predicted scoreline is a goal apiece. 1 for Empoli, 1 for Verona. Alright, then moving right along to our next game, which is Sampdoria versus Lazio. Sampdoria being at home here. Lost the last game. away from home, that is. Lazio, they have been the usual selves of past, of old. And so, but them coming up against Sampdoria here. They should it's about time they start to find themselves. But it's not going to be easy playing against Sampdoria at home, and on top of that, Sampdoria lost the last game. So, but I'm going to have them here now. I'm going to have Lazio winning this game. I'm going to have immediate at Lazio win this game. I'm expecting Lazio to win. Both teams to score, I would say yes. And so therefore, if you want to do another double chance, you can say both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. You can go with that as well. And another double chance, you can say Sampdoria or Lazio to win and both teams to score, yes. In terms of a scoreline, I would say Lazio 2-0. Alright? On the handicap system, you can always go and bet for Lazio to win by a goal. Alright? Lazio to win by a goal. And you're getting $3.25 for that, so that's a really nice odds. To recap in my predictions for the Sampdoria versus Lazio game, I'm expecting Lazio to squeeze the win here, playing away from home. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I would say you can have both teams scoring over 2.5 goals. And another double chance is you can have either Sampdoria or Lazio to win and both teams to score. Yeah. And also you can have, in terms of my predicted scoreline, I predict that Lazio is going to win this game 2-0. And on the handicap system, you can go ahead and bet for Lazio to win by a goal. Alright, so those are my predictions for that particular game. And I wish you the best of luck. Moving right along to our next game, which is Udinese versus Fiorentina. Udinese versus Fiorentina for this game. Udinese being at home and Fiorentina visiting. I'm expecting that this one is going to be an interesting one. And it's going to be close, I believe. But I think that Udinese, besides a draw, I think Udinese could squeeze this one here. I think they can squeeze a victory from Fiorentina. Otherwise, I would say it would end in a draw. So I'm saying, but I'm going to give Udinese the edge in this game, expecting Udinese to win. In terms of a double chance, I would say Udinese or Fiorentina to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is for Udinese to win by a goal 1-0 in favor of Udinese. Alright then. On the handicap system, you can always go and bet for Udinese to win by a goal. Alright. Always go and bet for you getting $5 for that. Because based on form over the years, Fiorentina would have expected to be the better team here, but they haven't had a really wonderful start to the season, and there's hence the reason why I say if it's not a draw, then it's going to end up being a victory for either of these teams, and I'm not expecting both teams to score in this game. So recapping my predictions for this game: Udinese to win. If you want to do a double chance, I'd say Udinese or Fiorentina to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is 1-0 in favor of Udinese. If you want to go on the handicap system, you can bet for Udinese to win by a goal. Alright, so we're going to move right along to our next game, which is Juventus versus Spezia. Juventus being at home, I'm expecting Juventus to come out and do the business here. And so therefore, I'm expecting the Juventus are going to come here and they're going to win this game. I don't want to use the word comfortably, but I expect them to win. And so Juventus to win. And if you want to do a double chance, I'd say Juventus or Spezia to win and both teams not to score. And my predicted scoreline is that Juventus to win by 2 goals. Alright? If you want to go on the handicap system, you can go on the handicap system and bet for Juventus to win by a goal. Alright, Juventus to win by a goal. And so, recapping my predictions for the Juventus versus Spezia game, I'm expecting Juventus to win. In terms of a double chance, you can say the Juventus or Spezia to win and both teams not to score. In terms of scoreline, I'd say Juventus winning 2-0. And on the handicap system, I'd have Juventus winning by a goal. Alright? So those are my predictions for that particular game. go to our next game, which is Napoli versus Lecce. Napoli versus Lecce. Napoli being the home team here. Based on the head-to-head, the last 5 games, Napoli have won 3, and Lecce have won 2. But Lecce is one of the teams that were promoted this season to the Serie A, coming up from Serie B, and so therefore Napoli. I'm coming here. I'm expecting Napoli. They should do the business, and so therefore, based on the start of Lecce, they had an awful start, and so therefore, I'm expecting Napoli to do the business, for Napoli to win, and I would say Napoli to win. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Napoli or Lecce to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline for this game, I would have Napoli winning this game 3-0. Alright? Napoli to win this game 3-0. If you want to go on the handicap system, I'd go on the handicap system and bet for Napoli to win by 2 goals. Alright? So my predictions for the Napoli versus Lecce game, I'm expecting Napoli to win. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Napoli or Lecce to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is 3-0 in favor of Napoli. And if you want to go on the handicap system, I would bet Napoli to win by 2 goals. So those are my predictions for the Napoli versus Lecce game. And so we're going to just jump on over to our next game here, which is Atalanta versus Torino. Atalanta being the home team this time around. I'm expecting that they should do well. Atalanta versus Torino. Torino, they've had a fair enough start of the season, and so as a result, I'm not going to expect this one to be an easy one for Atalanta. And as a result, I'm going to say this one is going to end in a draw. Alright? I have this one ended in a draw. I'm expecting both teams to score. And so my predicted scoreline for this game is 1-1. And if you want to do a double chance, I would say Atalanta or Torino to win and both teams not to score. My predictions for the Atalanta versus Torino game is a draw, and I expect both teams to score. My predicted scoreline is 1-1. And in terms of another double chance, you can say either Atalanta or Torino to win and both teams not to score. Alright? On the handicap system, if you don't want to take that one, I would suggest that we're going to have here Atalanta winning by a goal, if you want to go that route. Alright? So let's move right along to our next game, which is the final game of this game week. Bologna versus Salernitana. Won their last game at home against Sampdoria, and that was good for them. And so, based on the head-to-head, they will have 1 win for both teams in the last 5. Bologna are playing at home. I'm expecting them to handle themselves well here. I don't expect them to get blown away, and so, but let's see how things work out in this game. And so, therefore, my predictions for this game is that in terms of goals, I would say both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I would say Bologna or Salernitana to win and both teams not to score. Alright, my predicted scoreline for this game, I'm seeing it end in a draw, and I would say it would be a 1-1 draw. Alright, and so I wouldn't have anything for the handicap system. So my predictions for this game, Bologna versus Salernitana, I'm expecting both teams to score. If in terms of a double chance, I would say Bologna or Salernitana to win and both teams not to score. And in terms of my predicted scoreline, I have here this game ending 1-1. So therefore, those are my predictions for this game week. And so my predictions for all the games, game week starting on Tuesday. I will give you more predictions for the games coming up on Saturday and the following days. And so therefore, I wish you all the best, happy betting, and all the success. All right, then thank you very much.